Question number 15. A test of the null hypothesis, mu equals 41, versus the alternative hypothesis, mu is less than 41, is performed using a significance level of alpha equals 0.05. The value of the test statistic is t equals negative 1.44. Is the null hypothesis rejected? Well, let's draw a bell-shaped curve to assist us in this case. Zero goes in the middle. And because of the symbol here and the test value there, we know that this will be a left-tailed test. So we're going to need to find the critical value for the left-tailed test. Let's shade into the tail region. And remember, if the test value lands in this highlighted area, we're going to reject the null hypothesis. But if the test value does not fall within the highlighted area or the shaded area, do not reject the null hypothesis. When it comes to a t-test, we need degrees of freedom. We need a sample size. In this case, we don't have a sample size. We do not have a degree of freedom. So this question may seem more difficult than it should, but it's not. This one requires more of an analysis of the actual t distribution. Now, because we know that it is left-tailed, it is one tail to the left. And we know the alpha is 0.05. So let's go onto our t distribution and make an analysis about the alpha level of 0.05, and it is a one-tailed test. To the left, so we know the critical value is going to be negative. Okay. So, one-tailed, 0.05. Let's look at all these values for the one-tailed 0.05. All these critical values. Because we do not know the degrees of freedom in this case, or the sample size, we have to use the smallest value possible. And the smallest value that we're going to use is 1.645. If we had the sample size, it would have been easy to find the degrees of freedom, then the critical value. Because we do not have any of those, we're going to use the smallest critical value possible for a one-tailed test, alpha level 0.05, which is 1.645. Because it is on the left side, it's going to be negative 1.645. Let's reposition this actually. Put the 0 here in the middle. Okay. Our test value is negative 1.44. That will fall on the left side of 0, but it will not fall within the critical region. That value will fall, let's be more realistic, it will fall right here. T equals negative 1.44, which means we do not reject the null hypothesis. Therefore, to answer the question, is the null rejected? The answer is no. The null is not rejected in this case. And that is it for question number 15. Number 16. It says the following output from the mini-tab presents the results of a hypothesis test for a population mean of mu. Here is our mini-tab. Do you reject the null hypothesis at the alpha level of 0.01? In this case, we're going to use the p-value method. Now, if the p-value is less than or equal to alpha, you want to reject the null hypothesis. But if the p-value is greater than alpha, do not reject the null hypothesis. Our p-value is 0.000030, and alpha is 0.01. As we can see, p is less than alpha. Because p is less than alpha, we're going to reject the null hypothesis. So to answer the question, the answer is yes. The null hypothesis is rejected. And that is it to question number 16. All right, guys. Hopefully it made sense on how to determine whether you're going to reject or not to reject the null hypothesis. And I'll catch you in the next video. Take care.